Today, we're going to get into something I think we all struggle with. How do you take all that time, all that energy you're pouring into social media, and turn it into actual, real-world success? Let's dive in.
So let me paint a picture. You've just spent hours crafting the perfect post. The caption is witty, the visual is stunning, you hit publish, and then nothing. Crickets. Or, maybe you get a few likes, but you're left with this nagging feeling, is any of this actually moving the needle for my business? It's a super common frustration, but what if I told you the answer isn't to just work harder?
That's right. You could have the most amazing content in the world, but without a solid strategy behind it, it's really just noise. The real key to unlocking social media success is building a strong foundation. And that foundation, it all starts with one powerful idea.
It all boils down to setting clear, effective goals. Now, I know, that might sound a little basic, but honestly, it's the most overlooked and most crucial step in this whole process. Without goals, you're pretty much just flying blind.
Think about it this way. Social media platforms just throw a mountain of data at you, right? Likes, shares, followers. But without a goal, that data has no context. It's just a big pile of numbers. The second you set a clear goal, though, you give all that data a purpose. You start turning those raw numbers into actual, actionable intelligence. So why is this so important? Well, it really comes down to three main things. First, goals create accountability. You can actually track your progress and see what's working and what isn't. Second, it helps you manage your budget, and that budget could be your time, your money, or both. And third, and this is the big one, it forces you to make data-informed decisions, so you're focusing only on the numbers that truly matter for success.
Okay, so we're all on board, we need goals. But what makes a good goal? Vague ambitions like get more followers just aren't going to cut it. We need a system. And luckily, there's a proven framework for this called SMART.
The SMART framework has been a go-to in business for decades. For one simple reason, it just works. It's a system that takes those fuzzy, abstract dreams and turns them into concrete targets you can actually hit. It gives everything you do a sense of clarity, focus, and a deadline.
So let's break this down real quick. First, S is for specific. Instead of improve engagement, try something like increase comments on Instagram posts. M is for measurable. You've got to give it a number so you know when you've succeeded. A is for achievable. Aiming for 1 million new followers in a week? Probably not going to happen. Be realistic. R is for relevant. Does this social media goal actually support your bigger business objectives? It has to. And finally, T is for time-bound. You have to give yourself a deadline. It creates urgency and a clear finish line to race toward.
And this is where the magic really happens. Look at the difference. A vague goal like increase followers turns into a powerful, actionable goal. Increase Instagram followers by 15% within 3 months. See? Improve engagement becomes increase Facebook engagement rate by 10%. All of a sudden, you're not just throwing content out there and hoping for the best. You have a real, concrete roadmap to success.
And this isn't just some abstract theory. Take this real-world example of an Etsy jewelry seller from Michigan. She didn't just want to post videos. Her big goal was to build a genuine community. So she set a SMART goal: increase YouTube comments by 50% in Q3. To get there, she started asking questions in her videos and made a point to reply to every single comment. And the result? She didn't just meet her goal, she completely blew past it, hitting a 60% increase. That's what a focused, strategic objective can do.
All right, so once you've set your brilliant SMART goals, the next logical step is tracking your progress. But this is where a lot of people get tripped up, because not all numbers are created equal. You have to measure what actually matters.
So here's a really crucial distinction to understand: the difference between metrics and KPIs. Think of it like this. Metrics are the what. They're the raw numbers, the tactical data points like likes, comments, and your follower count. KPIs, or key performance indicators, are the so what. They're the strategic measurements that tell you if you're actually winning. To put it another way, metrics are like individual player stats in a basketball game. KPIs are the final score.
One of the most powerful KPIs out there is the engagement rate. For example, getting 500 likes on a post sounds pretty good, right? But it's absolutely amazing if you only have 1,000 followers, and, well, pretty underwhelming if you have 1 million. The engagement rate cuts through all that noise. It tells you exactly what percentage of your audience is actually interacting with your stuff. It's a true measure of how much your content resonates. And the formula to figure it out is surprisingly simple. You just add up all your engagements, likes, comments, shares, saves, whatever,
Divide that number by your total follower count, and then multiply by 100 to get a nice clean percentage. It's a number you can easily calculate for every single post to see how you're really doing.
So let's put this into practice. There's this fitness influencer, Sami. One of his posts got 500 likes, 100 comments, and 50 shares. He has 5,000 followers. We run that through our simple formula, and we get this number, 12%. That's his engagement rate for that one post. Now, this one number becomes his benchmark. He can start asking the really important questions, like, is 12% good? And how does this post compare to all my other content?
And this is where things get really interesting. Sami started tracking the engagement rate for all his different types of content, and he quickly discovered something huge. His Reels were getting a fantastic 14% engagement rate, but his static images, they were lagging way behind at only 4%. The data could not have been clearer. His audience wanted more Reels. So what did he do? He leaned in. He gave the people what they wanted. By focusing on creating more of the content his audience was clearly loving, he increased his overall engagement rate by a massive 30%. That's a huge, tangible result that came directly from setting a clear goal and then tracking the right KPI.
Okay, so you've got your SMART goals locked in. You know which KPIs to track. That's the core of your strategy right there. But to really round out your playbook, there are two more powerful tools that can help you plan and see the bigger picture. Before you kick off any big new campaign, it's always a good idea to run a quick SWOT analysis. Think of it like a strategic compass. You're looking at your internal strengths, maybe you have a great on-camera personality, and your weaknesses like a really small budget. Then you look externally at opportunities like a new trending sound on TikTok and threats like a huge competitor who's dominating the space. This simple exercise helps you anticipate challenges and play to your advantages right from day one. And finally, please don't forget about benchmarking. This is all about getting some context. Remember Sami's 12% engagement rate? Well, that number is totally meaningless in a vacuum. Benchmarking is how you figure out if that's actually good or not. By comparing your performance against your top competitors and industry averages, you get the context you need to understand where you really stand. And, of course, to set even smarter goals next time around.
We have covered a lot of ground, from the fundamental power of goals all the way to the nitty-gritty of measurement. You now have the complete framework to go from just posting into the void to posting with purpose, with precision, and with a real strategy. So the only question left to ask is, what's the first SMART goal you're going to set?